Killua is a young, talented assassin from the Zoldyck family. But how strong is he? We first see him in the Hunter exam arc, and he seems to be the strongest out of all of the main characters, since it took Kurapika, Leorio, and Gon just to open the home door of the Zoldyck family, while Killua was able to open the door on his own. It wasn't even that hard for him either. We also see during the Hunter exam, he has unique tactics and takes people's hearts. Is a very skilled assassin for his age, confident as well, for most of the Hunter exam, dominating his opponents. However, when it gets to the end of the Hunter exam, and he ends up having to take his brother on, Illumi, which he didn't even know he was going to be taking on his brother. Yes, he was being controlled and manipulated mentally, but it also seems this shows us for sure during this time he was not as powerful as Illumi, because Killua wouldn't fight Illumi since he knew he wasn't as strong or powerful as his brother. During the Heaven's Arena arc, him and Gon slowly start getting a little stronger, as well as learning Nen. We see more of around how strong he is, but he still doesn't seem like he's a match for the most powerful characters we've seen so far in Hunter x Hunter at this point. As well as during the York New arc, we see how he compares to some of the Phantom Troop members. Seems close in power to some of them, but still, just in general, a little less powerful than most of them. But the Creed Island arc is where he really starts to get powerful, developing his electricity, him and Gon both being trained by Biscuit, improving their Nen skills, and getting more experience. During this arc, especially by the end of this arc, he's definitely improved when compared to the beginning during the Hunter exam and how powerful he was. But still, the most major change comes during the next arc, the Chimera Ant arc, where he's part of the extermination team to take out the Chimera Ants. Goes through a lot more experiences fighting these ants alongside Gon and Kite. Him and Gon were supposed to face Pito, who actually took the life of Kite, who was a very powerful and skilled Nen user and seemed to still be slightly above Gon and Killua during this time when they're combined. Obviously on his own, he was nowhere near as powerful as Kite. Later during the Chimera Ant arc, he gets Godspeed, which allows him to manipulate electricity and is able to move at incredibly fast speeds, but not for very long. However, during this arc, as he was taking on these ants of different power levels, he was becoming a stronger Nen user overall and growing into his powers, improving them. And then by the next and last arc we see him in, he doesn't really improve that much and seems to just maintain what we've seen up to the point of the Chimera Ant arc. In comparison to, let's say, Gon, he's always seemed a little stronger and more powerful than him. But you have to remember, he was trained as an assassin for so many years before Gon even started training to become more powerful. If we compare him to characters like Illumi or Hisoka, when Killua is at his strongest, still he seems to not quite be on their level. Even with his Godspeed, as powerful as it is, they don't seem too concerned about it. We haven't got to see that much from his brother Illumi, but from the way he's been portrayed, it seems he is secretly incredibly powerful, and just about as powerful as Hisoka. If we compare him to someone like Kurapika, I would say this might be slightly closer, but still, Kurapika is more powerful. He's not quite on Kurapika's level. Killua might be able to give Kurapika a little bit of a hard time, but with his Emperor time, he's definitely going to be able to get it done and beat Killua. If we compare him to some of the Phantom Troop members when he's at his strongest, I'd say some of the stronger Phantom Troop members like Finks or Phaeton, which he probably would not have been able to beat during the beginning of the series. By the time we see him currently, I do believe he would have the edge over them now. It would probably be a close fight against them one-on-one, but he would probably be slightly more powerful than both of them and just edge them out in a fight. How much more powerful is he probably gonna get? So he's not on Gon's level. When Gon's an adult, we know how powerful he is. Even Killua in 15 years or whatever, when he's an adult, we haven't seen how powerful he's gonna be as an adult, but it seems he's not going to be as powerful as Gon, especially with the limited experience Gon has, and how fast he improves, and how high his potential is. Killua has pretty good potential, but it's not on the same level as Gon's. I believe he has the potential to be on just about the same level as Kurapika, since Kurapika is still getting more powerful and hasn't reached his peak yet, and Killua's still behind Kurapika at this point, or maybe he will slightly surpass him, maybe be on Hisoka's level, or maybe just be slightly over Hisoka's level, but I don't see him being on adult Gon's level ever, or Netero or Meruem's level ever. The most powerful I see him being is a little more powerful possibly than Silva and Zeno when he reaches his peak. Many fans will overrate him and of course bring up his god speed. However, as impressive as he is, especially for his age, it just doesn't seem that he's one of the top Nen users or one of the most powerful characters in Hunter x Hunter. Just never seems like he's gonna be one of them. Maybe top 15, not in the top 5 though. I'm sure he'll also develop some more powers, possibly. It's also impressive though that with his god speed, he's fast enough to keep up with the royal guards, or how he was able to give Yuppie a beating while using god speed. Maybe if he was able to use god speed longer, or somehow make Godspeed even more powerful during the time he's able to use it, it would be more effective and make him more powerful and give him the edge over many other Hunter x Hunter characters, as well as much more dangerous. But from how things seem now and how currently powerful he is, right now, from all the characters we've seen, he seems to be in the top 20, and I would guess at his peak, he might make it into the top 10. He's been said to be the most talented and skilled assassin of the Zoldyck family. He's also quite intelligent, seems smarter than Gon, which of course will aid him and help him become more powerful, give him more potential. But this is around where Killua seems to sit in power right now and how powerful he'll end up being. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.